Well, hi there. So I'm here again to share some electronics with you because I think electronics is for everyone. And let me try to open this package here. Oh, here we got the pin. Remove this one. Always a little bit nasty to remove. Anyone got any tips perhaps in the comments how I can get rid of this one? I always do it oops, a little bit impractical. Shot out. That's a CD74 HCT11E. And that's an AND gate, and we put it here with the pin number 1. You see to the left is a mold, and then down there is the pin number 1. And okay, right. So pin 1 is now here. And let's see how this one is laid out. And that is kind of interesting. You expect AND gates to be like 2 input AND gates, but this one has 3 input AND gates. And if we were to draw a diagram, a 2 input AND gate would be like this, 1, 2, and then you would put have inputs here, output here. If you input a 1 and here 1, then you would have here an input output of 1. But or another standard thing to do would to input a 0 and a 1, you would get an output of 0. But here, this chip here, it has 3 input AND gates, as it seems. And so we have here a bigger AND gate, and we 1, 2, 3 input feed, 1 output. And only if all 3 inputs are 1, then there is a 1 at the output. And if we have another situation, let's say we only have 1 pin at 0 at low voltage, so let's say this middle one, for example, or any other one, or if more than 1 is 0, then this gate will output a 0 all the time. So, or if 2 are 0, and this will always be 0, the output. And it will only have the 1 if all 3 inputs to the AND gate are 1. So you need them all to be 1 on the input on the left, that you get a 1 high output on the right. And so, according to the sheet, it's a little bit difficult because so here is ground down right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pin 7 is ground. Pin 14 is VCC. So our supply voltage. You often have that, so that in the 74 series of chips, 74 family, like this one is a 7411, that VCC and ground is opposite to each other. And here these 3 inputs to the AND gate, they are quite complicated layout because the 3 inputs to the first AND gate, they are pin 1. Now let's do something more pointy. What about this one? So here is pin 1 is the first input. You're talking about of the first AND gate. There are 3 AND gates here. We're talking about the first one. So we have 1 input here, pin 1, second input here, pin 2. Then the third input, it is do the opposite of pin 2. It's cross here, okay? The output is at pin 12 here. Very not so much intuitive. I mean, input, 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 output. And for the second AND gate, that's a really reasonable one, can be remembered quite easily, I think. So we start with the third pin here, which is not yet covered by anything. That's the first input to the AND gate. Then the fourth pin is the second input to the next AND gate. And then the fifth pin is the third input. So we have pin 3, 4, and 5 as inputs to the AND gate. Pin number 6 is the output of the next AND gate. And I think we'll use that one because it's very easy to remember this kind of layout. So what we would expect from this one is that we have 3 inputs and 1 output. And if all 3 inputs are high, then the output is high. And we want to verify this with diode and a resistor. Connect the diode here to the cathode with this like here. Then we have this 470 ohm resistor. Connect that over the output. All we need is 3 inputs, 3 positive inputs to make this a positive output, hopefully. So let's see. The banana jack. So we're connecting all rails with this. Make this rail positive, make this rail negative. And actually this one soldering piece of artwork that I did here, it, as you saw on the back, this is a negative right now, this is negative, this is positive, this is positive. The connections are good with this one. And so now we need some wires, small jumper wires, for example. So we connect positive to this input number. Your number 3 seen from the left. Perhaps a little bit further away. And we shall not forget that this circuit must be powered. So we connect here VCC. Nope, that's not VCC, that's ground. Mistakes have been made, so let's connect VCC where it belongs. Let's connect ground where it belongs. And so now this is regularly good powered. So and now we connect first now the second input to high to our VCC. So we have 2 inputs to high, and now when we connect the third input, it should hopefully light the LED. What do you think? So 1, 2, and let's do the last one. No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you why. The power supply isn't on. I switch the power supply to on. Hey, and the LED goes on. What a surprise. Or, yeah, really. So I take out this one. Do you think it'll go out? Because then the first input isn't high anymore. So let's take it out. Oh, it's still high. Why is it high? So let's see. Perhaps we have a floating pin here. What if we tie this floating pin to ground? Yeah. So keeping pins in an undefined state is really bad for your health or for your circuit. And so this pin is high, this pin is high, this pin is high, low. So one of the three inputs low, so no, so low output only. Or when we do another input to low here, also nothing. Now 2 inputs are low. Then we set this input to high again. Also no output. Only when we set the third input to high. Yeah, like so. It's already connected. Then we get a high signal. So that was the 7411E variant. So 7411. I was just googling that. 7411 HC, or you can go on Wikipedia. and type in you want to see info about the 7400 family, 7400 family, and then you just can nicely look on that page what 7411 means. Yeah, and really it says 7411. It's a three-fold AND gate, 3-input AND gate. Yeah. So basic question, what do you do if you want to have a 2-input AND gate? I mean, a little time to think about it. I think that we could simulate a 2-input AND gate by just keeping the third input always at high. Then the other two, let's say the two to the right, they would be, we can do these two. If both of these, if one of these two is low, then it's low. If just one of them is high, if any of these is low, then the output is low. But as soon as both of them are high, the output is high. Always concerning floating states. We should do really pull down resistors on this one, but you get the idea. These right two input pins now are a 2-input AND gate. So if you have a 3-input AND gate, you can have a 2-input AND gate made out of it, but you also have a 3-input AND gate. So that's no bad thing, I think. And perhaps we'll do another video on how to hinder this floating state from putting on the output when there's nothing connected to an input. But you can experiment also a little bit by yourself, because that is, we just need a pull down resistor. So enough tinkering for the moment. I hope that was interesting and fun to you. It was a little bit for me, and we'll meet again sometime. So please, if you want to support me and buying this stuff and having the time for these videos and everything, if you would click now to the left on the like button and perhaps to the right on the subscribe button down below this video, that will help me very much. Thank you and see you.